I think Rick's going to do the same thing that Clark did. He's going to talk about current activities that Starlink is doing. And the challenge for us will be, okay, what do we think Starlink maybe should be doing that it's not doing? And then also, how can Starlink and VCT work together to advance our needs more effectively? So, Rick?
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Cook. Why are you here today? What are we doing here? What's the purpose? I think Dr. Cook gave some good framing. Basically, your president tapped you, or we tapped you, because you are a state leader or you have the heartbeat of the needs of what's going on in education. So it's important for us, we're listening. We want to hear you're a sounding board. What can we do? And I guess the way I could say this is we have a toolbox that has been given to us by the legislative session with special exception funding funds VCT and funds Starlink. We had a very close call in this last legislative session because the Senate proposed zeroing out all special exception funding, and it looks like in the next biennium that's going to happen, but they're going to call it non-formula funding. But in other words, what we have is a wonderful opportunity for the next 2 years to open up the toolbox and to say, what is it that you guys need? How can we come together as a state, collaborate, because you guys have the heartbeat, the needs. But in order to do that, we want to hear you, hear what your needs are, where you see that we could collaborate, work together. Excuse me. But I think I'm surprised how many people don't know what's in the toolbox already. So today, we're not trying to sell you, or we're just trying to open up the toolbox and go, hey, here's some things that might help you. And so Starlink, I get to travel around and talk about Starlink a lot. I just want to real briefly share with you some of the Starlink, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but a lot of you in this room, or your presidents or people, they have an old concept of Starlink, and it was wonderful. We did satellite downlinks. Most institutions couldn't afford satellite time. It was expensive, so we would pay for the satellite time and downlink it to your institution. I know Starlink did a lot of great work with Richard's organization, and we would have these very long 1.5 hour downlinks with live interaction. It was awesome. We had a satellite truck. Technology caught up. Satellites antiquated. And now needs have changed. So this was kind of what people think about when they hear Starlink. Is, oh, we all meet together in a room and we have this live downlink, and but I have to take half a day. I have to take a half a day out of my schedule to do a Starlink training. Nope. No longer. In 2014, we changed our logo, updated our website, and we are now making it 24/7 modular based, where everything is tracked. Every one of your employees, they have their own customized dashboard. And you can do analytics as an institution. You can do analytics as an individual user. I only have 5 minutes today. I don't have time for professional development. That's okay. I'm going to get 5 minutes into this professional development, and it remembers where you left off. Modular based. It's got assessments, a certificate of completion. Your HR can track. This is a SACS requirement. So now it's all a customized dashboard, and we're listening to you. What is it that you need? Because we want to respond to your needs. We have PD training on OER, CBE, on soft skills training, even syllabus, how to have an effective syllabus. Whenever there's an event, we respond. We partnered with Homeland Security, and unfortunately, what to do in the case of an active shooter. We just released that yesterday in response to the tragedy at Las Vegas. These are things that we need to get the word out. We need to know it's improving. It's not only required, but Starlink has a brand new look, interface. We have a lot more deliverables. We've about quadrupled the deliverables each month. We used to put out about 1 a month. Now we're putting out 4 or 5 a month of new professional training. We have 200 plus courses online for you. It's agnostic. It'll work on any device, your cell phone, your iPad, just anything with connectivity. You've got your professional development. And to send one of your staff to a conference could be $1,000 more or less. We go and get the training. We interview the experts, the professionals, and then bring it to your desktop anytime, any place. So the purpose of this, we've developed some exciting partnerships over the last 2 or 3 years. We've worked with the North Texas Community College Consortium and with the TCCTA, and I appreciate you guys being here. A lot of the schools here, your trustees, they have their own room. It's called a learning path. And they have what we're offering. And the purpose, again, is just to show you kind of what we're doing. But the trustees, and this is some of the impact points which you have on your handout. We are seeing phenomenal growth. Just ever since we went to this short modular-based format, people have just, they've been awakened to, wow, it's free for Texas community colleges, and professional development is stinking expensive. If you've checked it out, wow, it's expensive. Well, it's free because we have this toolbox that's opened up to you, your staff. We're humbled and blown away by the way this is spreading in the last. We just keep thinking we've hit a ceiling, and then it keeps growing with our analytics. We keep looking, the number of online sessions, the number of users. It's just blowing up because we're relevant to. We're listening to you. This is what we need. This is what we want, and we're delivering it to you. So here's the toolbox opened up, and we want to shut up at this point and just hear you guys because you have the heartbeat of what's going on. And so I think the next phase of today's meeting is to say, what would help you? What do you need in your toolbox that would help you? What are the needs in your institution, in your organization? And then how can we serve you? How can we help you accomplish what challenges you're faced with? And we have an amazing opportunity that we're funded right now. We have a 2-year lab experiment to go, man, let's get together. Let's talk to North Texas Community College Consortium and the teachers, with Richard, the TCCTA. Let's talk to your institution. Let's talk to what are the needs? Man, and right now it's like a shotgun of terms and OER, CBE, co-requisites, dual credit. It's like, well, let's just step back, take a breath and go, what is it that you need? What can we help you with? And then let's see if we can find a solution. We're offering a lot of cost savings to your institutions through the free compliance, the closed captioning. That's huge. And I'm surprised we don't have all 50 colleges. That's a free gift, but people just don't know about it. And that's what we're finding. There's just a lot of, so that's one thing we want to explore is how can we get the word out, collaborate with all these groups, and become a more concerted effort. There are some professional development opportunities here that we've mentioned just to get you thinking when we have our group discussion. This is what I was talking about as an example of what Starlink does. It's the organization is the Community College Association of Texas Trustees. And so we have a course module. If your trustee, your board member, your president, your chancellor, they weren't able to attend this is just an example of the CCAT Transforming Texas we had in Tyler. We traveled to every regional meeting, north, south, east, west, central, and the statewide, and we put it all on one big room. And when they go in, they see their logo, so they think it's their own little website. And they can go, oh, I missed Dr. Murdoch talking about demographics. That's important. I want to see what's going on. Boom, it's right there. So there's about 4 hours of various speakers from this particular event that they missed. We're documenting important meetings. You guys are having some great things happening at your campus. Why not share that as a resource with the state? Let's collaborate and go, you know what, we had an outstanding, we'd like to put that in a learning path, or we'd like to share that with the other colleges. And so that's what we're doing. We're just thinking, how can we be better? How can we be trendsetters in Texas and collaborate, be strong together? What ideas? And so that's basically the focus. This is an example of some training we did where we even create a little avatar that walks you through how to do analytics using Starlink analytics. So there's a lot of benefits here with Starlink that a lot of people just aren't aware. They think of the old school Starlink, the 90 minutes, I've got to take a half a day off. It's changed, it's different. These are just some of the benefits, and we can show you some of our programming. We've got tons of programming that's very relevant, and I can send you this if you're interested. And actually, let me do it this way. And by the way, we're looking forward to lunch. Thank you for providing lunch. Here is the members area. This is what we're releasing. You can see that these are the featured courses we're releasing this month. I also have, if you haven't signed up for Starlink with your institution, then I've got brochures that I'll pass out for you. But you can do all kinds of searches in our course catalog right here. And for instance, this is one of the programs we just released this month. It's a compilation of video excerpts, assessments, articles. So we have 200 plus topics, and that's just another resource that is for you. It's free. And so what can we do to come together, collaborate? And I'll just give you a sample of this month's, one of the releases we did this month. This guy he's 72 years old. He just did a marathon up Pikes Peak, 26.1 miles. Richard St. John. But he's got almost 20 million hits on TED Talks. And he's my new hero. I tell you, he does these marathons. He's done his 85th marathon, 72. But he interviewed all the different celebrities, and Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, the most, quote, successful people, Pulitzer Prize winning, 1,000 people, aggregated the data and came up with 8 common traits of career success. So this is what we're offering to, for workforce development and for our, this is just one example of a show. And so he has offered to give us all his material because he wants to reach schools and students. And so these are the 8 things he aggregated from all these successful people. We put it in a workbook, and we have a whole professional development course that we just released 3 days ago on 8 secrets of career success. But we have all kinds of topics, programs, and the quality is just outstanding. But these are ideas we just want to share with you. These are some of the things you have access to, but what can we do to make this bigger, better, more effective for your institution? And I think that's where we're heading now, is to get some feedback from you guys. And we'd be happy to answer any questions as well.
This is expiring August 31st, EXT, August 31st, 2018.
Yes, so some of our courses, you'll see expiration dates, because we're also getting third parties that we do an environmental scan, and we go, you know what, we need to offer more. And so we have agreements Atomic is one of them, and they actually sought us out and said, we love your, I don't know how they had access to our programming because it's members only, but they said, we want some of your programming, and they offered to do a trade with us. And so we've worked a partnership with Atomic, so we're offering, but it's just a year long. And so you have a year to access this, and then once it expires after a year, but we're continually replenishing the library. So, but that's a good question. Yeah. Are y'all getting hungry?
Is the course catalog divided into categories as well?
Yes, the course catalog, and that's a great question. Course catalog, here's the different categories right here that you can scroll through. Or if you want to, CBE, let's see if something, I know I may have to spell it competency-based. Let's see. Oh, here it is here, CBE. So we just do a search, and then I want to see the CBE program. Well, guess what? We went to some of the national leaders. Dr. Michelle Weiss, you've probably heard of her from Southern New Hampshire University. Dr. Mark Milliron, Civitas, and Dr. Mary Hendricks, who Texas A&M Commerce, they were the first institution to get CBE accredited by SACS. So we talked to the people who started it. What were the challenges you went through? What are some of the things? We've got Dr. Federico Zaragoza at Alamo. They're working with Toyota and doing a lot of great CBE. Dr. Rex Peebles talks about from the coordinating board. So we go and get the professionals. We get all these people that you pay high dollar to go fly to at your conference. We go to them and do the same questions, comments, and we put it together in a modular-based format. So this is your guide. If you're wanting to do CBE at your institution, I wouldn't do too much more until you hear from the pros. We've aggregated all the pros' opinions. These are the challenges you're going to face in implementing CBE. Here's what you're going to run into with your faculty. Here are some, and so it's all here, modular-based descriptions of each module. So that's how the catalog works. Yes, ma'am.
What credentials do you need to open an account?
Just be a Texas community college. And or if you're not, then we do have a very small fee that we charge for outside of the Texas community colleges. So we do have some universities. We've opened up Starlink on a national basis in some universities, and it's based on full-time enrollment. It is extremely inexpensive compared to what's other prices. But yeah, we'd be happy to. I've got a big sheet of first-time users that give you instruction. So if you are a Texas community college, this is yours, and it's free. If you're not, we'd be happy to talk with you about enrolling you.
Do you do batch enrollments?
Yeah, well, it's institutional. And so when you pay for your institution, it covers all your adjunct, your faculty, your administrators, your staff, everything.
Do they have to go and create their accounts?
Yeah, well, then it's real easy. They just go into first-time user. And so here's a Get Started tab. And so once the membership is done, and you can actually go purchase membership if you're interested. And then first-time user, it's this simple. You just put your first, last name, use your institution email, and then if you want your employee ID for HR tracking, and then you create your password and you're done. That's it.
You cross-check if their institution is correct? Or
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's the other. We have tech support on available all the time, and she's awesome. She's from California, and she's just she's our member services person. But you'd be surprised at faculty member the calls we get every day. It's like now. How do I turn this thing on? But it's there. It's for you guys, and but yeah, we're wanting to use the next 2 years, this next biennium, to really feel your heartbeat of what's going on. What are your needs? How can we better meet those? Let's be great together, because a lot of people are doing the same thing at different institutions. Why are we working so hard? I'm a fairly new grandpa. I don't want to have to work so hard. So, you work smarter, not harder. If you've got a great program, I don't want to reduplicate your effort. If you're willing to share that, let's work together, collaborate. Any other? Okay.
I just want to make a comment, though, just the example used for CBE. I know I've traveled to conferences to hear Lori Dodge from Brandman University talk, because they've had such good success with CBE. Seems to me this is such a valuable tool. And as I heard both you and Clark talk, though, some of the problem is awareness of what's available. And do we have the right email addresses? Do we have the right people? And one of the big things, and I've always known this, is that you can do all the best world in the work, but if you can't do the marketing piece and get the word out, the membership services or marketing or whatever it takes to promote what you've got, that's that just seems to me like one of the biggest problems you've got. I just heard you say it a couple times. Look at all this great stuff we've got, and people don't know it's there.
That's
and
exactly right.
That's just a job you have to continue to do, is promote, market, and awareness, member services, however you want to put that in, because people are changing jobs. Your emails might still be good, but that person's no longer doing this, so it's going into someone who's getting this stuff, but they're not paying any attention, so they're not spreading the word. So that's just something I think, maybe we can really talk about. If this is a real need, and you and Clark would agree, is there a better way to make that connection? And we're talking about what can we do quickly to ramp up in the next 2 years to make Starlink and VCT really viable. But one thing is make sure everybody knows what we've got already, because there's an awful lot of terrific stuff there. And it's just that constant battle of making sure people know that it's there and then use it.
Yeah, no, great point. Great point. And it's a frustration because we've got all these great partnerships. Martha Ellis is back there. We're working with UT Mathways. We've been shooting in, 5 different states in the past 2 or 3 months, going and getting the Mathways program. We're just like gangbusters. And we have a broadcast quality producer. It's fine quality. But yeah, that's the frustration. Here it is, and it's like, I know Clark feels the same. I'm giving you a gift of free ADA compliant closed captioning. It's free. And people, only 13. Okay. And I tell you what, it's a lot better than getting sued, because there's a lot of people that are suing for ADA, and they're out there. We're giving the gift. It's just people don't know, and it's frustrating.
Following up on that same line of thinking, Martha recently contacted me and a local faculty member here who's working on bringing continuing education into Pathways, and so we're going to do a breakout at the next Pathways Institute. The Texas Success Center of TAC is now sort of overseeing, if you would, professional development across the state. It seems to me maybe we need to get a joint presentation of Starlink and VCT at one of the Pathways Institutes. I think that would be very useful.
Are you filming any of the Pathways Institute?
Yes, we have, and we're working with Erica at the Eisman Center. So we're, yes, but not. That's the, I do have a call out to her, because I know she was supposed to present, but I think she's in Louisiana at a conference. Okay, yeah, so I do have a call out to her because of this meeting, but she is definitely an important key to the guided pathways, so I do have a call out to her, yeah.
So I was thinking if there's a way to actually videotape some of the guest speakers.
Yes.
And then put them on Starlink, and also some of the concurrent sessions, that would be. Because it's limited enrollment of who could come to the Pathways Institute per institution.
Well, and that's a perfect example of collaboration going, hey, this is we need these speakers in perpetuity that everyone can have access to. Go to the portal, boom, and there it is. So perfect. And that's what we want to hear, is identify the needs that you guys have. Let's, Abe Lincoln, what do you say? Give me 6 hours to cut down a tree, and I'll take the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. That's what we're doing right now. We've got 2 years to sharpen our axe, to be, let's see how we can be effective and tie things together and be leaders. And but that's why you're here. We want to hear your feedback, your heartbeat. Yeah.
And I would just add. I would just add that that's part of why I feel it's important in this next year for me to really reconnect with the colleges, like I said, that have dropped away. We used to have almost all 50 would be involved with VCT in some way, and slowly, and it just seems like for whatever reason, and they don't know about Starlink. They don't know about our initiatives. Even though they get the emails, there's been times where we've come across a college and we have a listing for a VCT coordinator that has not been there in 2 years. So they're not keeping up, I mean, because they don't know what's going on with us all. And I think it's really important for us to really make that personal connection. Like I said, that's what Ron did so well. Everyone knew him. Everyone knew who Ron was. And if he sent something out to people, people would at least look at it. And we need to get back to that.
Well,
so that everyone
I think we have to acknowledge that a point Pam made, this is a time of rapid transition, it seems to me. People are coming and going, changing roles. It's a time of rapid change, period. Right. There's so many changes coming down the pike, guided pathways, co-requisites. It's very difficult to keep on track of everything, and I think we've got to be more effective in shaping our message. Mm-hmm. And I think this idea of preparing a response to the consultant report, and maybe if we do it in partnership, VCT and Starlink, and get it back to TAC so that the presidents themselves can hear this, because oftentimes they don't know. You know, they're more involved in higher issues, so we need to make sure that they're aware of these things first and foremost, and then find out who are the appropriate people within the institution. So it's got to be effort from both parts.